Okay. Hello, everyone. I can see that people are still joining. So I give it another 1 minute or so. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Professor Kayvan Karimi. I am the program director for the MSc and MRes programs in Space Syntax Architecture and Cities. So today we have what we call virtual open day. And the idea is that we try to introduce our programs to people who cannot come to UCL directly, and they are joining from different parts of the world. In this event, I give you a presentation about half an hour or so about the program, the content of the program, the people who teach on this program, the background of the program, and the modules that are involved in this program, and so on and so forth. So this will leave us with a quite generous amount of time to answer your questions, if you have any questions or comments. So let me start with this slide. We are based in Bartlett School of Architecture, which is part of the Bartlett faculty of the built environment. This faculty is very diverse. It's one of the largest in the world, one of the most reputable as well. But Bartlett School of Architecture is, in fact, the biggest school or institution within the faculty of built environment. But if you look at the list of other centers, schools, institutions within the Bartlett, you can see this incredible diversity from School of Planning to School of Sustainable Construction, Center for Advanced Spatial Analysis, and a series of institutes. The biggest one is what we call Bezier Bartlett School of Environment, Energy, and Resources, which includes 4 other institutes itself. And then we have Institute for Innovation and Public Purpose, Institute for Digital Innovation, and Institute for Global Prosperity, and so on and so forth. What I want to mention here is that if you study our program, in fact, any of the master's program within the Bartlett, you are within this incredible educational and intellectual context, and you can benefit from this proximity with other expertise and specialities within the field of the built environment. Now, you probably know this. UCL is a very high-ranked university in the world in different university ranking, and constantly in top 10 or top 20 universities in the world. But more importantly is this one. If you look at a specific fields, faculties of the built environment or schools of architecture and so on, you see that the UCL or the Bartlett goes to the top. Normally top 3. In the previous 2 years, it was higher than any other faculty of the built environment in the world in this particular university ranking system. And this is really, really important, because you're not only in London, which is an incredible city, and within this a very important institution, UCL, but you will be connected to one of the best faculties of built environment in the world. Now, the School of Architecture itself is a very diverse school. It's renowned for innovative approach to design, and there are programs such as MRes architecture, MRes urban design, and so on, which are focused on innovative design, and they are studio-based programs. However, there are other programs within our school which have different approach to design, including our program, which has its roots in a field of research called space syntax. And I just brought up this slide. I think it was 2019 that in QS Top University rankings, they quoted basically, singled out the space syntax laboratory within Bartlett School of Architecture as one of the reasons that this faculty is such an important place. Now, this is remarkable because we have so many schools and institutes and research fields and everything within UCL, but space syntax is a world-leading field of research, which was born at UCL, Bartlett School of Architecture. Yeah, and this is on par with other things that we are doing within this school and across the Bartlett. Space Syntax Laboratory is a lab within the Bartlett School of Architecture, and this is a group of researchers, academics, doctoral students, as well as these master programs, our master programs, and a couple more. And this is again a place for intensive research in the field of the built environment. So our program is embedded inside a research lab and benefits from being associated with this lab. Now, the mission of Space Syntax Lab in 2024 is defined as understanding human social, cultural, and economic structures, their evolution, and entanglement with architecture, urbanism, and digital technologies. Using this to inform practice through publication, education, application, and policy influence to promote healthy, sustainable, diverse, inclusive, and equitable cultures and communities. So helping diverse or deliver diversity and the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. Now, this, in a nutshell, is what this program is about, right? This is kind of a mission for the lab, but the focus of the program MSc and MRes on space syntax, architecture, and cities is this. It was founded, this theory and methodology or platform of research that we call a space syntax, by Professor Bill Hillier in 1970s in response to the failures of modernist urban planning, urban design, and architecture, and he founded this really interesting program, which was called Advanced Architectural Studies until 2011, and then we changed the name to Spatial Design, Architecture, and Cities, and eventually to space syntax architecture. The reason for that was that people within the school and the faculty, they felt that space syntax field is developed enough mm, to be used as a title for a program. However, we shouldn't be misled by the title. This is not a program only about one single theory in architecture and urbanism. It's much more diverse. Space syntax is, in fact, the platform, the base that we engage with the questions and challenges of the world. Yeah, I mean, the origin of this theory and methodology, as I mentioned, was in the failure of some of these, developments after the Second World War, such as the housing estates in the UK, and the early literature on space syntax, such as The Social Logic of Space, a very interesting book, and Space is the Machine by Bill Hillier, Julian Hansen, and others. And they reflected on the problems of the built environment in the 20th century and tried to kind of come up with a theory to understand them better and resolve them better. As mentioned, the core teaching of the program is inspired by space syntax, which is a framework of theories, methods, and tools to explore the relationship between space and people. And questions such as, can space cause social challenges, social problems? These are images from some of the housing estates in the UK, which declined badly after the Second World War, and they have multiple social problems. So social and economic problems have a relationship with layout and how we design them. Now, if we understand the relationship between layout, spatial systems, and how the society works and how people use the space, then we have a powerful tool to identify the issues, the problems, and the strengths of the design, and in fact design better. The program is a stimulating program focused on the research and analysis of buildings and cities, and we consider them as patterns of space inhabited by individuals, communities, and organizations. So we don't differentiate, or there is no dichotomy between the space and people. We see it as one single paradigm, which should be studied in connection, in seamless connection. Instead of confining architecture to role of designing iconic buildings only, and confining city to economic development and policy, our program takes a combined theoretical and analytical approach to architecture and urban design in order to construct an improved public realm and a better built environment for the society. Perhaps in that sense is one of the most unique programs in the world. We don't, partition built environment into interior design, architecture, public space design, urban planning, regional planning, and so on. We see everything in a larger framework, and we can look at any system, any spatial system, from very micro to very macro level, and study them in relationship with how they function in relationship with people. Now, I emphasize, I mean, in this slide, I wanted to show the range of things that we are dealing with studying a hot in a tribal village to a conventional houses, complex buildings. In this case, is a gallery, National Gallery in London, to the study of cities, neighborhoods, and even more recently to the studies of the whole countries. Now, there is no exaggeration that this program offers this vision, the tool, and the theories that can bridge between all these different scales. And I consider that as one of the greatest strengths of our program. The program has been trying hard to maintain a relevance to the contemporary world challenges, and also taking a multidisciplinary approach to issues such as analytical and evidence-based design, sustainable urbanism, social inclusion and exclusion, informal settlements or formal settlements, planned settlements, architectural computation, spatial cognition, physical and immaterial dimensions of social networks, and many other challenges related to various scales of the built environment. Again, in that sense, the program is quite unique and gives you the opportunity to pursue the things that you want to study. We also give the students the advanced skills that they need for their work, but also skills that would make them employable only by learning those skills. So things such as spatial network analysis, which is widely used in different disciplines now, by teaching visual graph analysis, different ways of analyzing intervisibility in spatial systems, agent-based modeling, and GIS, which is Geographical Information System, and we use that to store data, to explore data more scientifically. We also teach and use statistical analysis and data visualization, as well as presentational skills that would give our graduates the sort of skills that they need for their future professional career. A little bit about the differences between MSc and MRes and a PhD. A PhD is in the UK system, is a research-based 3-year program. Nobody normally finishes in 3 years, but in 3 years, you have to complete the research. And there is a little bit of taught modules, and the doctoral students, they normally audit these modules that are related to their work. However, MSc and MRes programs, they are much shorter, a 1-year calendar year, programs. Normally in other parts of the world, the MSc programs, the master's programs are like 2 academic years, which is from, say, October till summer. But our programs, they start in October and finish in late September, full 12 months. There are advantages in doing that. They are very helpful in terms of, you can finish your studies in 1 year. They probably cost less in terms of the cost of living and things like that. But as a result, they are very intensive programs. So you have to get ready for this intensity in your studies. The difference between MRes and MSc in our program, they have the same title, almost the same program. The biggest difference is the element of research in MRes program, which is much bigger than MSc. So almost 2/3 of the entire program is research, in MRes. So you start, in fact, when you apply, you have to develop a research proposal, and from the beginning of the year, you work on your research while you're doing your taught modules or transferable skills modules. Whereas in an MSc program, there's still a substantial element of research, which is your dissertation. And this is 60 credit out of 100 credits, 1/3. The rest of the modules are taught modules and transferable skill modules. So if you are really passionate about an MRes, about research, and you don't want to do a PhD, or you're not sure about it, MRes is the right one for you. But if you don't know and you want to leave it open for you to decide if you want to go to professional practice, to academic professions or research careers, then you can apply for the MSc program. In terms of the content of the programs, we have this is the MSc program. In the first term, again, it's a very sort of intensive program. You have to do 4 modules, 15 credit modules: architectural phenomena, investigations in spatial morphology, space syntax methodology and analytical design, which I teach, and buildings, organizations, and networks. In the second term, you have to do 2 compulsory modules: analytical design research project, a big one, 30 credit. I teach this one, and then spatial cultures. Then you have the option of choosing between urban form and society or spatial dynamics and computation. So if you're more interested in social phenomena and socioeconomic issues, you take this one. If you're more on the computational side, your interests are on that side, maybe that's a more suitable module for you. And from the second term until the end of summer, the students do their MSc dissertation. And there's a very well-defined process for that. You develop a research proposal, goes through different phases, and then you will have a supervisor, regular supervisions, and you produce this substantial kind of piece of work, which we call dissertation. I mentioned these optional modules. Now in MRes, you can see the same modules, but a lot of them are optionals or auditable modules. The ones that you really have to do are these 2, the principles of analytical design and MRes dissertation. Altogether, that would be about 135 credit out of 180. And the rest of it would be 1 compulsory module, which is investigations in spatial morphology, and then choose between these modules that are available for MSc students. So MRes students do less compulsory modules and do more research. Having said that, I mean, we encourage our MRes students to audit as many modules as they can. Auditing means that you don't do the assignments and things like that, but you attend the lectures and you gain knowledge from these modules. The architectural space and computation MPhil PhD, some of you might be interested in that. We are not discussing a PhD program, but I want to mention one of the strengths of our master's program is this link between a PhD program and MSc program. So some of our PhD students, in fact, teach, not they are not the main tutors, they are teaching assistants, and they transfer their knowledge and research capabilities to our students, and they benefit from this process, and then our students get exposed to the the work of the doctoral students, which is very helpful. The program has been impacting minds in the past 40 years or so, or even more. This is Bill Hillier in 1980s going around these housing estates, trying to train young planners and explain the problems that they have. The program, this field of research and Space Syntax Lab, they have influenced policies and guidelines in the UK and internationally. We have impacted the current debates and even, brought some issues to mainstream design and research concepts such as connectivity, spatial accessibility, permeability, intelligibility, wayfinding, and so on. They weren't very common in the past. This field of research introduced these things to current debates, and now they are kind of accepted mainstream concepts. We have been impacting design by what we call undertaking evidence-based design through analysis, investigation of data, and everything. We assisted the process of design to make sure the projects that we design are functional, sustainable, and make contribution to the community. This is one of the best examples. This is the Nottingham Market Square, and how we turned it into one of the best places, one of the best public spaces in the UK and the world. We also contributed to the design of offices and buildings, architectural scale buildings, a diverse range of different complex buildings, galleries, theaters, universities, hospitals, and so on. So as I said, we don't differentiate that much between different scales of the built environment. So the methodology and analysis is capable of responding to these different scales. We have been influencing strategic thinking, and this is an example of working with world-leading architects and urban designers to use the abandoned railway infrastructure and turn them into a cycling network, connecting it with the internal cycling network in London, for instance. This methodology and this field of research is very well used by researchers and professionals around the world. And these dots introduce the people I personally know, academic researchers and consultancy or firms that use this type of research in their design, urban design and architecture. More recently, I added 2 more dots. This is in Kazakhstan, a new research center, as well as an office that provides consultancy for the country. So as you can see, this distribution, the geographical distribution of people who use the space syntax is phenomenal. We would like to have more in Africa, for instance. But even there is interest, and people get motivated by using this type of research on an academic level or in professional level. A huge amount of publication from this graph shows from 1976 the yearly publications of topics related to our field of research, and recently it is around 600 papers per year, papers, books, etc., articles, and we have regular seminars, online or in-person seminars, very well attended, and a 2-yearly conference called the Space Syntax Symposium. 2022 was in Bergen. And last year it was in Nicosia in June 2024. Space syntax programs, MSc and MRes and PhD programs, they had a great presence. These are tutors, students, doctoral students, master students. The largest delegation in this conference came from UCL. The next one will be in Malaysia, 2026. So if you join our program, you will have a chance to attend this conference, which is normally in summer. So summer 2026, a large group of researchers and educators, professionals will be in Malaysia, and hopefully I can see some of you there as well. This field of research has got connections with professional practices. The most important one is Space Syntax Limited, which is a UCL spin-off company established by academics such as Bill Hillier and so on. I'm a director of Space Syntax Limited as well, and I try to bring my professional experience to the program and also transfer the academic knowledge back to this company. This relationship is incredibly useful. We have other associated practices. These are my students at Foster and Partners office, with which we have a great relationship. So they're showing their latest design research work, and we also invite them to see what our students do. Future career and opportunities. If you want to think about it, there are increasingly positions in urban architectural design and planning firms, leading ones, on the type of work that we do. Local and regional authorities. If you want to work for local authorities, there are places for you. You can become an academic, starting from an MSc degree or a MRes degree, but move on towards a PhD. That's perfectly possible. And then if you want to go to the private sector, you can work with private developers, investors. So there is room for different directions. Myself, as I said, I'm sitting between these two entities, Space Syntax Limited and Space Syntax Laboratory, and I'm very proud of this transition and exchange of people, ideas, question methods, techniques, and tools between these two entities. Very, very productive. The other tutors on the program, aside from me, Professor Laura Vaughan is a professor of urban form and society. Professor Sophia Sara is a professor of architecture and spatial design. When we see professor, you have to know that in the UK system, we don't call any tutor a professor. A professor is the highest rank of academic. I know that in other countries, even college teachers are called professor. But when I say, Professor Vaughan or Professor Sara, it means that they are at the highest academic rank in the world. Professor Kirsten Saylor, a professor of sociology of architecture. Dr. Sam Griffiths is an associate professor, very close to becoming a professor now, and Tassos Varoudis, associate professor in architecture and machine learning. We have Alan Penn, Professor Alan Penn, a renowned academic. He used to be the dean of the Bartlett himself, and he teaches on our program. Bill Hillier, he passed away in 2019, but he's teaching still there. Some of our teaching are inspired by him, or basically what he used to do for the program. Aside from that, we have Professor Fatah and Professor Hannah, who are teaching on another program on the architecture computation program, but they are associated with the Space Syntax Lab and with our program. And finally, we have Professor Achilles Van Ness, who is our external examiner from the Western Norway University. That's it, everyone. I hope I could deliver the information that you were looking for, but we have plenty of time for questions. So if you want to start, putting your questions in the chat box, I go through them and I answer them one by one. So any questions? Okay, there is a question from an anonymous attendee. Do you guys take in people only with computer science background, not any architecture, urban related experience? Good question. I should have said that. We take students from a diverse range of backgrounds. Almost half of our students come from architecture and urban design background, but the other half, they normally come from sociology, social sciences, computer science, engineering, planning, and even, we've had students from a music background or from a journalism background and things like that. So as long as you are capable of using computers and learning some methods which we teach, you should be absolutely fine. And people from different backgrounds, they pursue different routes in their careers. They, necessarily you don't come to a program to become an architect or urban designer. You can enhance your former background and learn more, so you can contribute to an entirely different process of design and planning. So the answer is absolutely not. We take students from different backgrounds, particularly architecture and urban related experience. I hope I answered your question, but if not, just let me know and I can follow up. So there is a question from Fawaz. Thank you for the presentation. I was interested in the M-Plan program. M-Plan is master in planning. Is this the right place to be asking question for that? No, you need to join that program's virtual open day, and the director of the program would explain what the program is about, and if you have any questions. You can even directly communicate with the directors, including me, and ask questions about the programs. If you cannot join their open day events, it is perfectly possible to ask any questions that you have, but that's in a different department. M-Plan program is in the School of Planning. We have a very good relationship with them. I know a lot of colleagues there. We do joint research and things like that, but I cannot talk about their program. By the way, we have about 60 master's program at the Bartlett in different schools. So yeah, you need to just see which one would suit you and what you want to do in future. What scope does space syntax covers? This is a question from Brigitta. Does it involve around urban space and cultures with collaboration with computing? What technicalities are being used to gather data? Are the data collected tangible or non-tangible? What type of issues or problems that are solved through the discipline of studying space syntax? And you also want to know, since this program hints on policy making and spatial politics in a gender scheme or grander scheme, sorry. Okay, a lot of questions, very good ones, and I answered them one by one. The scope, I think I tried to cover. This program is all about understanding, studying a spatial layout of different scales and its relationship with socio-economic phenomena. So this is about designing buildings, designing neighborhoods, designing cities, designing even cities. But the key here is that by understanding the spatial structure and the spatial system and how it works with people and society, we can do a better job in urban design, urban planning, architecture, and so on. So does it revolve around urban spaces and cultures with collaboration with computing? Yes. I mean, the use of computer is inevitable when you deal with these complex issues, and modeling cannot be done. In fact, in 1970s, this type of modeling started with a manual process of using mathematical calculations, but then with the invention of computers, more and more I think people are using computers. What technicalities are being used to gather data? We are very keen on collecting data firsthand and also using whatever data is out there. So we teach how to use the available data online and from different databases, but we also encourage our students to go and collect data themselves by doing observations. In that sense, most of them are tangible. We look at how people move, how people use the space, how they interact, and things like that. But we also encourage the students to collect non or intangible data. If you like this, the intangible data layers, they sit on top of the tangible layer, and by connecting these data layers together, you can make sense of the different phenomena. What type of problems are resolved through the discipline of studying space syntax? A lot of problems, from optimizing the design of a building to recreating public spaces, urban regeneration, transformation of informal settlements, regeneration of what they call slums. We call them unplanned settlements, new towns, etc., etc. Policy, yes, I think we are not focusing on policy issue and policy making as much as planners do in the UK, but we cannot ignore policies in our work. So I hope I answered your full range of questions, Brigitta, but thanks for asking. Anonymous attendee, thank you for the presentation. Wondering if you could speak if I could speak about the research or work opportunities that students could pursue at UCL, for example, with the Space Syntax Lab. Yeah, the Space Syntax Lab is basically an academic research lab. So sometimes there are opportunities, but mainly for PhD students to be engaged in first-hand research. But we facilitate some internships at other places, including Space Syntax Limited, but there are other companies that are increasingly looking for interns, and we introduce our students for internship programs that they have. But there's also, I mean, the work opportunities, particularly in London, are quite good. And if you graduate from our program, you will have a good chance of finding a job. And this has been the trend in the past 10, 15 years. The next question is also related to job or position that a graduate could find in a consultant or architectural firms to incorporate space syntax. So the architectural firms and urban design, urban planning firms in the UK and internationally, they're increasingly developing their expertise in spatial analysis, in data analytics, urban analytics, and so on and so forth. So you can join those groups within these firms. And in fact, some of our students are now leading these teams within different companies in the UK and other countries. Even if you don't have that chance of applying what you learn in our program directly on the projects and things like that, that would gives you a vision and capability that would differentiate you from the other practitioners. So if you're an architect or urban designer, after graduating from this program, you become a much more potent kind of designer. This happened to me when I finished my PhD in this field and went back to practice. I saw a big difference between what I could do and what I could see and what the others could not. So yes, I think this would enhance your chances of becoming a more capable professional as well. Another question, is it possible to enroll in MRes program after years of experience in architectural practice, even if you have been out of academia for some time? In fact, sorry, I don't know your name, but we designed this MRes program exactly for people like you, people who have been in practice but really want to do research, and they're passionate about research. So having a professional background is not a negative, is a positive in this case. And we teach you everything that you need to do research. Maybe there is a bit of learning curve if you come from a non-research background, but I'm absolutely sure that you can do it. Yes. So if you're absolutely passionate about research and want to focus on a longer term research, MRes program is the right one for you. If you want to try different things, including research, I think MSc is better for you. But from what you described, I think the MRes program would be suitable for you. The product of this, the main product of an MRes program is an MRes dissertation. It's like a mini PhD. You can publish it. In fact, I encourage my students to go to conferences during their studies. They start developing academic outputs from this program. So when you finish, you can go back to practice and become a much better practitioner with an understanding of how research can help design and planning. But you could also become more like a researcher if you want to work in a team and do the research work on design. I think that's perfectly possible. Another question about you're interested in MRes program to continue with the PhD. which is related to a career transition. I think it's from the same person. I think that's another group of people that we have considered to develop this MRes program for people who really want to do a PhD, but they don't have time now or the resources or the grant, the funding. So they do this 1 year program, which is, for me, is like a mini PhD. And then if you decide to do a PhD program, you're well ahead of the program. Yes, you know what you're doing. You've already probably developed your research proposal, PhD research proposal during your studies. You have found the right supervisors, identified the likely supervisors, communicated with them, because that's a problem here. If you want to do a PhD, you need to find a good supervisor who accepts you as a PhD program. So by doing an MRes program, you put yourself ahead of many others in that process. Okay. Any other questions? I can't see any other questions. I give it another 2-3 minutes just to see if there are any other questions. Any further questions, everyone? Just to mention that in the start of the year, the beginning of the year, the deadline for application was end of March, but they have extended it to June. My recommendation, however, is to start your application as soon as possible if you're serious about applying to this program or any other program at the Bartlett, because it takes time. And sometimes these programs are oversubscribed, and you might lose the chance if you apply too late. So my strong recommendation is to start the process as soon as possible. The application process is not very difficult. You do it on a platform that we call Portico. You just register there, and you look at the requirement for the program, what you need to submit. We don't require a design portfolio, but we sometimes we ask for further information, such as a written piece or a revised, personal statement. For the MRes applicants, we require a research proposal, a 1,000-word research proposal. Now, if you're serious about MRes and you don't know how to develop a research proposal, or you have a research proposal that you're not sure about, you can communicate with me. You can easily find me. I'm Kayvan Karimi, UCL, k.karimi@ucl.ac.uk. You can easily find me. And if you look at our website, my email address is there, so you can just click and contact me. Any further questions? Okay, I can't see any further questions, and we almost at the end of this session. It was very good to see you all, although I couldn't see your faces, but it was good talking to you. I hope I get a chance to work with you as students, but if not, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you very much.